folks, Bridges here. We are going to show you today the three different formats which you will be turning in your cams for your Automata box. So the first way that we're going to produce these cams will be 3D printing, and we're going to take this custom cam that we made yesterday. It says pear shaped, but it looks kind of more like an oval or maybe an eccentric cam. Either way, whatever the name says, we're gonna show how to turn that in. And the format that we're gonna turn it in is called an STL format. So it's very simple. Once you've got your model created, you're going to go up to File. You're going to come down to Export, and I'll turn on my mouse highlighter. So File, Export, and then on the export screen, you're going to give it a name. I would recommend starting it with your initials and even the bell. So 2AB pair cam. Okay. And then what you have to do is you have to change the file type from an F3D, which is a Fusion file, and scroll all the way down to an STL. And then take note that it's going into your downloads folder when it's done. So we'll click export. It may or may not pop up with a window that says it's a cloud conversion. It did not pop up with that, so we're good. That file should now be in my downloads folder, and I can go to my file explorer down here, and I can check. So now I go to my downloads folder in my file browser, and I look to see. My computer's taking a minute. There it is. It's my 2AB pair cam, and it does say it is a stereo lithography mesh, so that's an SVG file. Perfect. That's all you have to turn in to me on the Google Classroom for your first cam. Now I do want you to go ahead and slice that on the slicer and print that yourself. So to do that, I'll just go ahead and show you. So you're ready to turn it in. Continue on by opening the Creality slicer. I've got my not Creality, I'm sorry, the Cura slicer. I've got mine pinned to my taskbar. You could pin it if you want, but we can always find it by going to the search bar at the bottom and typing in Cura, Cura. And everybody should have it on their machine. And we'll click to open Automaton Cura. I'm going to pause while my software loads. So while my software continues to load, it's taken extra long today. Meanwhile, I've gone back to the back of the room where the 3D printers are, and I have ejected the SD card, the micro SD card, from the first printer I found that was not currently running. The way that you eject it is you click in on it and let it kind of pop out to you. Okay, and then along with that, I went ahead and grabbed one of these SD card converters that goes into the USB port on your PC. So it looks like my software is now up and running. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and plug in my SD card reader. I'm going to plug in the SD card into the card reader, logo side up. So the metal pins should be on the bottom. And now, in my Cura software, I can go over here to open. Let me show my screen once again. So in my Cura software, the one thing I failed to mention was to set up the fact that we have our 3D printer profile on here. So if yours does not say Creality Ender 3, what you would want to do is go right there and you would go to Add Printer and you would search for Creality Ender 3 / Ender 3 V2. Right? And we can do that, but I don't need, so we have a non-Ultimaker printer. Okay, we have a non-networked printer, and this is where we scroll down to find created, manufactured by Creality. So we're going to expand the Creality 3D folder, and we're going to find it down here. It's one of the longer names, Creality Ender 3 / 3v2. So So if you have not added that, go ahead and add that. Since I already have it, I'm going to click X here. So now at this point we can see the shape of our print bed, and we've got our STL file. So let's click the Open button up in the upper left corner, and we will go open our file we'll retrieve it from the Downloads folder, which is where our STL file resides. And we'll say Open. So it puts it in the same orientation that I created it in Fusion, which is standing up. And we could print it like that, but as you can see underneath, the red area means it's going to need some support there, and it's just going to take a lot longer. It makes a lot more sense if we lay this model down flat. You can't always do that, but in this case I think we can. So I'm gonna move my toolbar out of the way here, maybe. Perhaps I'll just resize my window. There we go. So now I'm going to click on my model to select it, and then I'm going to come over here on my toolbar and I'm going to click on Rotate. And as you can see, I'm going to choose the green to rotate it in the, what is that? The X dimension? I'm not even sure at the moment. And there we have it. If we click on up here on the top right, this is all one button. You can click on that and you can change the infill settings. That's 20% infill. You could raise that or lower it, but I think 20 is fine. Honestly, we could probably get away with 10 to make it a faster print. So we'll click that. We'll come down to infill, and we'll open infill, and we can make it 10%, I believe. Okay. The next thing it's looking for is adhesion. So adhesion, support. I'm sorry, support. We really don't need support, so we can uncheck the support, but really there's no harm in having it checked. That's for if you have overhangs, and I'm a big fan of tree support, but once again, we shouldn't need it on this particular model. So it doesn't matter if it's checked or unchecked this time. It's a good habit to have it checked. It does not make support if it doesn't need it. The last thing is adhesion, and that is, do you have any extra 3D print that helps it to stick to the bed? And I don't think anything is needed here. Sometimes on smaller prints you would need some adhesion, but on this case we don't need any. So we changed the infill density to 10%. We changed the support to off or on. It doesn't matter. As long as you've got it laying down in this manner, then it shouldn't have to create any. And then the adhesion we've got turned off. We've got low quality, which means a faster print, which that's totally fine with us. We're not looking for anything life-changing here, and we'll click the X. Now we're going to click the slice button. Make sure that your name over here with a little pencil it automatically names it CE3E blah blah blah. That's just the name of the printer. If we erase that and just leave the name of your model in the beginning, that'd be great. So it tells me the bell and your initials, and then when we click slice, it does a quick calculation, figures out how long it's going to take. For me, it's 1 hour and 47 minutes, and it's going to take 22 grams of filament. That's great. If yours is a whole lot more than that, then maybe we did something wrong. We might want to go back and check. And then it says we have a chance to save it to the removable drive, which is the SD card that we put in. So we'll go ahead and click that. It does save it to the removable drive. So we'll click eject. And now we can take our card out of our PC and we can take it over to the printer. And when you insert it into the printer slot, you want to make sure that the metal tabs are facing up. It's weird, I know, but we'll click it in facing up. And then you click in on the knob and you select print and you select your file, and there you go. You're going to print. That's the first way. That's everything that you need to 3D print your cam. I'm going to create another video next that shows how to do the laser cutting. Thanks for watching.